6 hidden signs a woman wants to give herself to you, but won't say it. Psychology tricks. When a woman is ready to offer you her body, her time, and that deep feminine surrender, she almost never says it directly. There's no, okay, I'm yours now. Instead, something quieter happens. Her behavior shifts. Her energy toward you changes. The desire shows up between the words, not inside them. Sometimes the loudest, I want you, is completely silent. Most men miss this because they're looking for something obvious and dramatic, a bold confession, a drunk text at midnight, a clear invitation. But real attraction doesn't usually work like that. It hides in the small things, the way she looks at you and then looks away, how close she stands without needing to, what she does with her body when you're just sitting there talking and not even touching her. If you're new here, hit subscribe because every video on this channel breaks down the deeper layers of attraction, emotional behavior, and the unspoken signals women rarely admit to, even to themselves. And if you've been here before, you already know we don't sugarcoat anything. Here's what you need to understand. Every woman has her own story, her own wounds, and her own level of confidence. But when she secretly wants to give herself to you, certain patterns show up again and again. Not because she learned them from a book or a movie, but because her nervous system, her emotions, and her instincts start reacting to you before her logical mind can step in and hide it. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 hidden signs a woman wants to give herself to you, but won't say it, so you can finally understand what her silence has really been trying to tell you. 1. Presence and physical distance. Sometimes the most powerful message a woman sends is silent, and it's wrapped in the space between you and her. Pay very close attention to presence. A woman who isn't interested will keep her distance like it's survival. She will guard her time, protect her energy, and make sure her personal bubble never pops. But when her desire starts to stir, when she secretly wants to give herself to you, proximity becomes magnetic. She drifts toward you without thinking. She doesn't announce it, she gravitates. That is the first hidden sign. She sits just a little too close. She stands just a little too long. Even in a crowded room, her body tilts in your direction, almost like her instincts are pulling the strings instead of her logic. Attraction makes her restless. Her mind wants to stay composed, but her body, that betrays her every time. Don't ignore those micro movements. They're the whispers of real desire. And here's something most men miss. It's not just how close she is, it's how comfortable she becomes in your presence. A woman who feels nothing stays alert and guarded. But a woman who feels safe around your masculine energy starts to soften. Her shoulders relax. Her voice changes timbre. The tension she normally carries, especially around men, begins to melt away. She laughs easier. She smiles quicker. She listens more intently. She will unconsciously mirror your posture, your tone, even your tempo. That is powerful psychology. You must understand, comfort is a privilege. She only grants it when her instinct tells her he might be worth it. A high-value man doesn't chase this reaction. It appears naturally around him. You don't force comfort. You create it through your grounded presence and calm masculine energy. That's how you quietly attract women without trying so hard. Now let's talk about her eyes, the windows most men never learn to read correctly. Movies make men believe that attraction is a long, seductive stare. Wrong. Real psychology says the strongest signal is when she looks at you and then quickly looks away. That nervous, almost embarrassed moment of eye contact followed by retreat, that is gold. Don't miss it. It means you triggered something inside her, something she didn't plan to reveal. It means her nervous system reacted before her brain could hide it. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. When a woman quickly breaks eye contact, especially with a shy smile, that means attraction just slipped through the cracks. It wasn't loud, it was involuntary. And anything involuntary is real. Watch closely. Does she glance at your lips when you talk? Does her breathing get shallow? Does she subtly lick or bite her own lips? Does she touch her hair, neck, shoulders, or collarbone while speaking to you? These microsignals are biological. She isn't doing it to tease you. Her body is simply responding to your masculine energy. Don't gawk. Don't freeze. Be steady. A high-value man doesn't gasp at opportunity. He calmly receives signals and responds with grounded assurance. Confidence is silent. Desperation screams. You must learn the difference if you want to attract women at a deeper level. Women won't say, "I want you." They're wired to feel first and express second. That means you must read her actions, not beg for her words. Attraction is rarely loud. It's trembling, delicate, and hidden. She might lean in when you speak. She might brush against you accidentally. She might laugh at jokes that weren't that funny. Don't doubt yourself. Don't rush. Let her open. A woman gives herself to a man not because he asked, but because being near him feels like the right decision. You must be that man, the high-value man, the one who leads calmly, listens intently, and speaks with purpose. Be the man whose silence carries more weight than another man's loudest sentence. Most men chase reactions, but the wise man observes patterns. That is where real power lies. Think of your presence as a test. Does she lean in or lean away? Does her energy retreat or relax? That is attraction in real time. Your job isn't to win her approval. Your job is simple. Be present. Be intentional. Let your masculine energy fill the room quietly, without performance or ego. Don't flex. Don't stutter. Don't oversell. The woman who wants you will notice everything. The way you breathe when you think. The way you move when you walk. The way you treat others when no one is watching. When a woman is attracted, your existence becomes fascinating. And that is the secret. Women don't fall for the man who tries the hardest. They fall for the man who doesn't need to try. So remember this. A woman's body reveals her before her words ever will. Don't chase validation. Read her presence. Don't beg for connection. Notice her distance. If she drifts toward you, if her armor starts to fall, if her silence suddenly feels warm instead of cold, that is your sign. Don't rush it. Don't question it. Stand firm. Hold your frame. And let her come closer. Because when you master quiet confidence, you don't just attract women, you become the kind of high-value man who lets desire speak without a single word. 2. Trust and personal emotion. There's a moment, quiet, subtle, and easily missed, when a woman shows you something far more valuable than beauty. She shows you trust. And trust isn't loud. It doesn't arrive with fireworks. It slips into the conversation when she least expects it to. You ask a simple question, and suddenly she's telling you about her childhood, her disappointments, the dream she's afraid to chase, the scar no one sees. That is no mistake. In female psychology, when she begins to share personal emotions, she is testing the ground beneath her feet. She wants to know if you're solid, if you'll listen, if you'll protect what she reveals. Because a woman will never give her body to a man she cannot emotionally trust. That's not opinion. That's psychology tricks backed by real behavioral science. Don't be fooled. She is not just talking, she is revealing. There's a difference. Casual talk is easy. Deep talk is a risk. A woman who feels nothing will keep conversations light, clean, and safe, like a polished elevator pitch. She'll talk about work, the weather, her favorite coffee shop. But the moment she starts sharing why she fears getting close to people, that is when something real is happening. The moment she mentions the breakup that changed her, the friend who betrayed her, the secret worry she hides behind her smile, that is when you must pay attention. Be present. Be calm. Most importantly, don't interrupt. She's not just filling silence. She's opening doors. A woman who lets you into her emotional world is slowly, carefully, showing you the map of how to fall in love. Men often fail here. They think deep talk means she's just being friendly. No, this is one of the oldest psychology tricks in human connection. She shares not to impress you, but to observe your response. She wants to see, do you rush to fix it? Do you judge? Do you act uncomfortable? Or do you simply hold space for her? That tells her everything. Silent understanding speaks louder than solutions. Don't try to be her therapist. Be her anchor. That is what female psychology responds to most: emotional safety. When she speaks, don't just hear her, receive her. That's the difference between a man she talks to and a man she trusts. Think of it like this: men fall through their eyes, women fall through their ears. And when she starts sharing personal emotions, she's not trying to dump her problems. She's trying to see if her heart has a safe place to land. Because for her, intimacy is not just physical, it's psychological. That is how female psychology works. A woman must feel safe before she can feel desire. Emotional security is romance's foundation. Don't overlook it. Don't rush the process. Trust is like a delicate lock. You don't force it open. You earn it one small key at a time. And here's the secret: trust rarely arrives with a dramatic confession. It starts small. A quick mention of something she's worried about. A soft smile followed by, "I don't know why I'm telling you this." A story about her past that carries a bit of pain. When she opens her heart, even slightly, she is preparing, slowly, carefully, to open every part of herself to you. If you want to understand how to fall in love, recognize that these tiny personal admissions are the earliest signs. Don't ignore them. Don't mock them. Don't brush them aside. Honor them. That's how real connection grows. Let me tell you a simple metaphor. Trust is not a door. It's a bridge. At first, it's made of thin rope. Fragile but hopeful. Every conversation lays another plank. Every genuine moment strengthens the structure. But if you laugh at her vulnerability or misuse what she reveals, that bridge collapses instantly. And once it breaks, you rarely get another chance to rebuild it. That's pure female psychology. You must understand it or lose it. So here is your mission. Be the kind of man who can listen without judgment. Be the one who remembers small details. Be the man who doesn't weaponize her vulnerability in an argument later. Women don't fall in love with your muscles. They fall in love with your consistency. Be steady. Be reliable. Be safe. That is how psychology tricks actually work in real life. Not manipulation, but understanding. Not games, but presence. Don't just respond. Connect. Because when you make a woman feel emotionally secure, it activates the most powerful force in female psychology, her desire to open up and eventually to give herself completely. Remember, a woman who trusts you is a woman considering you. If she shares her fears, her doubts, her quiet battles, she is not weak. She is brave. She's giving you a chance to earn her. Don't take it lightly. That is how attraction begins. That is how to fall in love, not suddenly, but steadily. And if you can hold her emotions with strength instead of fear, she won't just talk to you. She'll choose you. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe for more psychology and relationship insights. Comment to remember, I create emotional safety and attract genuine trust. Type it in the comments to lock it into your mindset and boost interaction with the channel. 3. Imagine the future and test your thinking. When a woman starts imagining you in her future, that moment separates the boys from the men. She may not say it directly. She rarely ever does, but she reveals it through subtle psychological signals, a change of tone, deeper questions about your view of life, or those curious phrases like, "would you ever?" and "what if we?" These aren't meaningless words. They are tests, quiet, powerful tests. And if you don't recognize them, you lose before you even step onto the field. Most men miss these signals because they wait for loud signs. They expect the dramatic, the obvious, the bold. But by the time anything becomes obvious, she's already gone. She's already closed her heart. She has already judged you unworthy of entry into her life. Old Stoic wisdom warns us, when the signal is loud, the opportunity is gone. The smartest men see what others ignore. In her silence, she speaks. In her questions, she seeks direction. She wants to know your mind, how you think, how you decide, how you imagine the future. She is checking not your charm, not your wallet, but your judgment. Because judgment creates destiny. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. That is why she listens to every answer, because your words are not just words. They reveal who you truly are. That is why a woman tests you. She wants to confirm that giving herself to you will not become a mistake. Women don't give themselves to weak men. They don't open their life to men who drift. They want strength, certainty, direction, a man with purpose and an iron mind. Not a man who reacts, a man who decides. That is Stoicism win. That is power. In modern life, distractions drown the signals. Phones steal attention. Routines kill presence. Men grow comfortable, but comfort makes dull edges. Meanwhile, women still speak the ancient language of attraction, subtle, intuitive, emotionally layered. If you want to win, you must develop perception. You must see beneath words. You must listen to tone, to breath, to pauses. Psychology tells us that intention hides in behavior. So watch behavior. Watch how she changes when you walk into the room. Does her energy shift? Does her posture soften? Does her voice become more playful or more serious? A sudden change in mood, not dramatic but deep, may be one of the strongest signals of feminine desire. When she imagines you in her future, she tests how deeply you stand in your present. If your life is disorganized, if your priorities are scattered, if your purpose is uncertain, she will feel it instantly. And once she feels it, she will quietly step away, not in anger, not in drama, but in silence. And when a woman leaves in silence, she never returns. That is why presence matters. That is why direction matters. That is why Old Stoic wisdom still wins in the modern age, because it never goes out of style. Timeless principles beat temporary tactics. Let's be clear, she doesn't want perfection. She wants reliability. She wants to feel safe following your lead. She wants to know that if storms come, and they will, you won't collapse. She looks for emotional steadiness, mental clarity, and spiritual strength. That is why your answers to her subtle questions are critical. Don't stutter. Don't over-explain. Don't seek her approval. Instead, speak with calm certainty. Listen with full attention. Make decisions and own them. That is leadership. That is what she's testing for. Stoicism win means controlling your reactions, not killing your emotions. It means guiding them, directing them. It means being the calm in the chaos, especially when she gets emotional. Iron Mind does not argue. Iron Mind does not beg. Iron Mind does not chase. It stands firm. It observes. It decides. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing." Most men do nothing and lose everything. So here is your instruction. Don't wait for her to confess anything. Start paying attention to the unspoken. Listen to what her behavior is trying to tell you. If she imagines you in future scenarios, lean into the moment. Speak with purpose. If her mood changes around you, stay centered, don't get swept away. When she pauses before answering, don't rush to fill the silence. Hold your ground. Let her feel your stability. Because women do not fall for men, they rise toward them. And if you want her to rise toward you, become the man she can rise with. Modern men chase women. Strong men build themselves and attract women naturally. Your focus must be on clarity, responsibility, mission. When your life carries weight, your words carry power. And when your words carry power, her heart opens without force. That is Old Stoic wisdom. Work on your foundation first. Create order from chaos. Command your thoughts. Master your routine. Cut out emotional noise. Build identity. And let attraction follow you instead of you chasing it. Let's end with decisive truth. Attraction isn't a game. It's not manipulation. It's alignment. If she imagines you in her world, show her that your world is already built. Show her your standards. Show her your discipline. Show her your patience. You don't need to perform, you need to embody. Don't just want her. Be worthy of her. The strongest men don't need to convince anyone. They simply live with purpose and allow only those who recognize it to step closer. That is the real test. That is how you win quietly. That is Stoicism win in action. That is iron mind in motion. And when she sees that, she won't need to speak her desire. She'll feel it. And so will you. 4. Emotional expression and body language. With most people, she's polite, composed, maybe even distant, but with you, There's a shift in the air, a different electricity in the way she speaks, stands, and breathes. That is the first thing you must notice. When a woman's emotional tone changes only around you, her attraction isn't just casual, it's personal. Eye contact suddenly feels like a conversation of its own. She seems playful one moment, sarcastic the next, then unexpectedly soft, as if she doesn't quite know which version of herself to be around you. Don't ignore that contrast. Psychology tells us that a woman only gets nervous around a man who truly matters to her. If she's perfectly calm, fully relaxed, and emotionally neutral, then chances are there's no spark. But if she tries to appear confident while her emotions are quietly waging war inside her, you are not dealing with ordinary interaction. You are dealing with desire undercover. Watch closely. Her body may tense without reason. Her breathing shifts. Her pupils widen like she's been caught off guard. That is feminine instinct responding to your masculine energy. And a woman does not betray those instincts unless something inside her is drawn to you on a deeper level. A high value man doesn't chase this energy, he recognizes it. You must understand that when you affect her nervous system, when your presence alone changes her emotional climate, you are not just a man in the room. You are the stimulus. Be aware of this and don't let arrogance ruin it. Attraction lives in the subtle details, and women speak a secret language with their body long before they speak one with their lips. She may become shy for no obvious reason, or she may smile when nothing funny was said. She may stumble on her words or over-explain simple things. Don't mock it, feel it. That is how attraction often looks before it finds the courage to confess itself. A high-value man knows how to read the unsaid better than the spoken. Men often wonder, why does she change when I walk in? The answer is emotional gravity. Whether she wants to admit it or not, she is reacting to your masculine energy, and that emotional pull is hard to hide. Don't overthink it. Be present. Let her reveal more. Another secret sign, physical proximity. If she starts to touch you more than necessary, that's not coincidence, it's instinct. A light brush of her hand, fixing your collar, adjusting your sleeves, picking lint off your shirt that wasn't really there. Women don't touch men they don't want. Don't be fooled. These accidental touches are not accidental at all. They're tests, small, calculated experiments designed to feel out your response, your composure, and your level of confidence. She wants to know how your body feels, how steady your energy is, and whether you're the type of man she can trust enough to move closer to. That is her way of adapting to your presence, getting familiar with your skin before her mind allows her heart to cross that final emotional border. Don't rush it. Be still. Let her curiosity grow. A high-value man doesn't force closeness. He becomes a space where closeness naturally happens. Women are far more intuitive than men think. They don't need to analyze attraction the way men do. They feel it. So when she leans in slightly while talking, when her knees angle toward you, when her laughter lingers just a second too long, that's her way of saying, I'm already imagining what it feels like to be nearer. You must respect that pace. Be bold, but not desperate. Be steady, not stiff. Remember, women are drawn to masculine energy not because it's loud, but because it's grounded. And the more grounded you are, the more she feels safe to let her guard fall. Don't try to decode every micro-expression like a detective. Be the kind of man whose presence answers the questions without words. She gets overwhelmed not because she's weak, but because she's fighting an inner urge to surrender her composure in front of you. And believe this, a woman only struggles to maintain control when some part of her already wants to lose it. She doesn't want just any man. She wants the man who makes her feel like herself, but more alive. Don't play games. Don't fish for validation. Be a man with purpose. That is how you attract women, by not needing them to complete you. When she sees a man who is whole on his own, she'll start asking herself whether she wants to be the one woman allowed into that world. And if you sense that nervous spark in her, don't expose it, don't boast about it, don't take advantage of it. Instead, protect it. That is where true desire begins, not in loud flirting, but in quiet emotional storms that she tries and fails to hide. That is the clearest sign she wants to give herself to you. She just needs to feel that you won't break what she's risking to reveal. If she's calm with others but becomes nervous, playful, or tender only with you, that's not coincidence. That's desire trying to hide. Comment below with power. I recognize the difference. Her emotions don't lie. 5. Behavioral inconsistencies and psychological challenges. When a woman begins to surrender emotionally, she will rarely say it directly, but her behavior speaks louder than any confession. Watch closely. When she stops guarding her ego around you, when she forgives quicker than before, laughs even when annoyed, and suddenly values your opinion more than she should, that is not coincidence. That is desire taking root. She begins to respect your presence, and that respect is the soil where attraction quietly grows. When a woman is talking to you, listen to what she says with her eyes, said Victor Hugo, reminding us that the truth is often hidden beneath spoken words. Women don't give themselves to men they don't respect. Never forget that. If she starts letting you steer conversations, decisions, or the emotional tone of a moment, she is saying something she will not yet speak. You matter to her. That subtle trust is a test, and you must handle it with an iron mind, with the calm restraint of old Stoic wisdom. Don't chase. Don't beg. Don't break your frame. Because desire obeys strength, never weakness. Psychology shows that when a woman's attraction is stronger than she is willing to admit, her behavior becomes inconsistent. That push and pull, that distance followed by sudden closeness, isn't confusion, it's fear of how deeply she wants you. She steps away only to see if you will stay composed. She grows silent just to feel if your presence still carries weight. She appears cold not because she lost interest, but because her interest became too real to ignore. The great Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That transformation scares her, but it also draws her in. You must understand this paradox, or you will misread her signals and lose her entirely. Let's be clear, this is not a game, it's psychology. When a woman wants to give herself to you, she starts to study you more deeply than anyone else. Not your body, your mind, your reactions, your discipline, your fears. She observes what makes you angry, soft, patient, human. She tests your character, not your charm, because character is what she ultimately submits to. That is where modern men fail. They try to impress with noise instead of inspiring with silence. They display desire but lack control. They speak but don't command presence. In today's world, full of constant distractions and shallow interactions, a man must cultivate an iron mind to stand out. Weakness is everywhere. Strength is rare. Old Stoic wisdom teaches that emotional mastery is the highest form of power. Don't react. Don't explain. Don't chase. Instead, guide. Lead. Observe. A woman's attraction intensifies around quiet confidence. The mystery of a disciplined man makes her lean forward, while the desperation of a needy one makes her step back. Modern life tests your patience and discipline daily through social media, instant gratification, jealousy, insecurity, but you must win. You must practice Stoicism, win through your actions. Hold eye contact, speak less, choose words with precision, never argue emotionally, never complain, never seek validation. Show her that your life already has purpose, with or without her, and she will move towards you on her own. Power is not loud, it is steady. Desire is not forced, it is invited. Attraction is not chased, it is earned. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the core truth most men ignore. If you master that principle, women will notice it without you saying a word. And when she oscillates, when she fades and returns, don't panic. Don't ask why. Don't overthink. Accept it as proof that she feels something she cannot yet voice. Keep your frame strong. Let her emotions rise and fall while you remain unshaken. That is leadership. That is presence. That is what makes a woman feel safe enough to finally let go. The moment she senses that her emotions no longer control you, that her silence does not disturb you, that her distance does not weaken you, she will trust you in a way she never trusted anyone before. That is when she will finally reveal what she has been hiding, her willingness to surrender to a man who has mastered himself. In this modern age, the greatest victory is not in overpowering others, but in ruling your own mind. That is the essence of Stoicism win. That is how you create a life where emotions work for you, not against you. You must remember, her tests are not roadblocks, they are gateways to respect. She wants to feel that she is stepping into the world of a man who leads himself first. So live with conviction. Speak with clarity. Walk with purpose. Don't react to her moods, demonstrate stability. Don't fear her silence, master your own. Don't wait for her approval, prove your value through action. Build an iron mind, guided by old Stoic wisdom, and the world, including women, will respect your presence. Win the inner battle, and everything outside will start to fall into place. That is the quiet victory of the superior man. 6. When her guard falls and her truth appears. There is a moment in the dance between man and woman when words no longer hold the power, but presence does. A woman cannot surrender to a man she doesn't understand. Not because she's curious, but because she craves intimacy. Real intimacy. The kind that doesn't knock at the door, it walks straight into your world and begins memorizing it. If you've ever caught her staring when she thought you weren't looking, don't mistake it for admiration. That wasn't just interest, that was study. Women observe the men they desire like a quiet detective. Silent, focused, subconsciously decoding your temperament, your reactions, your patterns. That is female psychology at work. She wants to know if you are as deep as her desire. And if she senses that depth, her walls don't crash. They fall brick by brick, soft and deliberate. That is the art of how to fall in love, not loudly, but slowly. Not dramatically, but irresistibly. Anticipation is her secret language. A woman who wants to give herself to you doesn't just like your presence, she waits for it. She checks her phone more than she smiles. She responds fast, then pretends she's busy. Your words stay in her memory longer than her own thoughts. That's not coincidence. That's psychology tricks in motion. Your voice begins to echo in her thoughts. Your opinions begin to matter. Your energy begins to pull her in. And here is a subtle truth. When a woman adjusts herself around you, fixes her hair, straightens her posture, reapplies lip gloss, psychology doesn't call it fashion. It calls it intention. Attraction changes posture. Desire changes presentation. When she begins to care about how you perceive her, it means she has already begun to care too much. Don't miss that signal. It's quiet, but it's powerful. But listen closely. There is a deeper sign, the one most men overlook. It is jealousy, but not loud jealousy. Not drama. Not shouting. Not accusations. Instead, it's a pause in her tone. A sudden silence when another woman's name is mentioned. A soft shift in her eyes. That is female psychology whispering, I've already imagined him as mine. A woman never gets jealous over a man she considers temporary. She only feels it when she's already building a future in her mind. If she tries to hide it, that makes it even more real. You must not mock it. You must not dismiss it. Respect it because jealousy is often the shadow of desire. And desire rarely walks alone. Touch becomes the next test. Not obvious touch. Not dramatic moves. The psychology of desire lives in the small gestures. A light touch on her lower back as you walk through a crowd. A brief brush of fingers when handing her something. If she continues the contact instead of pulling away, that is not politeness. That is permission. And when she leans closer, melts into the moment, or subtly reaches back, she is no longer thinking. She is feeling. Desire kills logic. That is one of the oldest psychology tricks in human history. When a woman allows touch, she is not accepting your hand. She is accepting your presence. Don't force anything, but don't ignore it. And yet, the ultimate test arrives right before surrender. A woman will challenge you, not to push you away, but to know if you are a man she can trust. She might pull back, ask a heavy question, or challenge your attitude, not to create problems, but to see your emotional stability. She needs to see if your presence offers safety when she becomes emotional, distant, or confused. Remember this. For a woman, intimacy is not physical first. It is psychological exposure. Her body is the last door she opens. If she is unlocking it, consciously or unconsciously, she is already letting you in. That is female psychology at its most vulnerable. Then comes the voice. Before her body responds, her tone shifts. Softer, slower, more emotional. Like every word is chosen with care. That is not flirting. That is vulnerability slipping through. If she teases you but never disrespects you, if she opens up but never embarrasses you, if she becomes emotional but remains gentle, she is telling you she trusts you with her femininity. And once a woman trusts you emotionally, her body will follow. That is how to fall in love, not through games, but through emotional safety. Then comes the silence. Not the cold silence of disinterest, but the warm silence of comfort. She no longer feels the need to entertain you. She simply wants to exist beside you. That silence is a hug without arms. That is presence without pressure. A woman who sits next to you peacefully is telling you, "My heart rests here." Don't fill that silence. Don't break it. Be strong enough to let it exist. Soon, she begins asking intimate questions, not dirty ones, deep ones. What scares you? What do you truly want in love? What hurt you before? What makes you feel alive? That is not curiosity. That is emotional X-ray. She wants to know your emotional depth because she's preparing to reveal hers. If she senses gentleness and strength, not weakness and chaos, her body begins to speak a language she can't hide anymore. She stands closer than needed. Her legs touch yours. Her hand lingers on your arm. She lets you touch places she guards from every other man. That is trust. That is her body telling her heart, it's safe to fall. But the most powerful signal is availability. A woman who wants to give herself finds time, even when she has none. She may cancel plans for you. She may stay up late just to keep talking, because desire rearranges priorities. And when she begins to prioritize you, she is no longer deciding if, she is only thinking when. Don't chase her at that stage. Don't pressure. Don't rush. You let her come to you because she already is. And then the final shift, almost invisible, completely undeniable. She stops resisting her feelings. Her breathing changes around you, slower, deeper. Her pupils widen. Her lips part softly while you speak. She steps close enough for you to feel her warmth. These aren't accidents. They are primal responses. A woman's body knows her desire before her mind admits it. That is female psychology at its most ancient truth. She begins to care about your comfort, your happiness, your emotional ease. She becomes soft, nurturing, protective. This is bigger than pleasure. This is connection. When a woman is ready, she doesn't just give herself. She trusts you to lead. Not because she's weak, but because she finally feels safe. And if she invites you into a private space, if she stays even when she could leave, if she looks at you like you're already in her future, don't doubt it. It wasn't your imagination. It was her desire. That, my friend, is the silent art of how to fall in love. And now, you finally know the signs. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, don't forget to hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe so you never miss another psychology insight. Got a different opinion or want to discuss one of the signs more deeply? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for spending your time here. Stay observant, stay confident, and remember, sometimes what's unspoken is louder than words. See you in the next one.